What are some racial differences that you've noticed around you? Who would like to share?
People are different, so they get treated based on how they look, and who decided that is the dominant culture.
What is the dominant culture? What does the dominant culture do?
They make people believe certain stereotypes about a certain group of people, not just blacks, but also browns or indigenous, anybody whose skin color is darker.
Dominant culture is for powerful people with power, and white people make other people think that black people are bad. So that's why black people don't have power.
If a white person kills a black person, they call it self-defense. But if a black person kills a white person, it says murder.
This is evil. This is insane. This is as dumb as you can get. I cannot believe that they are teaching this to our children, to God's children. This has nothing to do with good. It has nothing to do with love. This is all hatred. This is all hatred, folks. This is not good, what's going on in my country. This should not be allowed. And I appreciate, because there are individuals, there are real people who love this country, real people who love God, who are truly standing up. I've seen tons of videos, not tons, but I've seen videos of people going to these school boards and standing against this crap and not letting their kids be indoctrinated with this. This is crazy. And it's not like, you can tell by watching that video, it's not like the teacher was asking their opinion. It's like they have been trained and they have been taught what to say. These kids are not thinking for themselves. This is brainwashing. Children do not think this way. Really. I mean, any individual who has kids, or I don't have any kids, but I have nieces and nephews. They don't care. I have white nieces and nephews, mixed nieces and nephews, and they don't care about color. They just wanted to be treated right. They just want love. This is evil, folks. It's insane. And that woman, that child, she said that white people make black people look bad. Black people make black people look bad. The out of wedlock birth is out of control in for the blacks. They kill each other and have no regret. And they sing about it and they rap about it in their songs. They don't care about each other. They scream and yell, talking about defund the police. They hate police. They hate anybody that's of good. Black women commit the most abortions, being the lowest. I think Native Americans may be a lower percentage, but blacks are one of the lowest. Black women are one of the lowest percentage of women, but yet they have the most abortions. They make themselves look bad. White people can't do that. It's mind blowing, folks. I cannot believe these children are being indoctrinated and lied to hate white people. It's all about hating white people. And it's really about hating God, because if you don't love God, first of all, it's over with. But if you don't love your neighbor, if you don't love all people, you love no one. And that's what they want, everybody to be against each other. It's crazy. And it's also about communism and socialism being brought into America. I would recommend parents, stop sending your children to these public schools. Even the ones who are not teaching this, women, y'all need to stay at home. Y'all need to stay at home and do a woman's job and take care of the children while your man goes out to work, and stop sending them to these public schools. We got to start doing this the right way if we want this to get better. Get married and start family. Stop having these babies out of wedlock, because it's not going to end well for your children. All you're doing is leading them straight to hell, straight to destruction. Really, we got to get it right, folks. This is crazy. And this also leads into another point that I want to say. That video is disgusting. That critical race theory stuff is disgusting. I cannot believe that my country is doing this. I mean, I can believe it because most people are slaves in this country because they have been demoralized, because you can't control moral people. You know, like I love God, you know, so I try to follow the morals and the values of what God. I try to build my foundation on the solid morals and values that Christ preached about. So I can't be controlled by the world, but most people go along, even the Christians, they are controlled and enslaved by the world. And this is how this crap happens, because Christians, homosexuality, radical homosexuality was put on hold in America because the Christians stood against it. They stood their ground. They knew it was wrong, and they had courage. They weren't cowards. They didn't have fear, and they spoke against this crap. And then you have the abortion. Abortion was put on hold because the Christians stood against that crap. They knew it was wrong, and so they spoke out and they were vocal about these situations. Pornography was put on hold because the Christians stood up and they fought against it. Obviously, that stuff still came to pass, but it still was put on hold for a little while because the Christians stood up against it. Now, all the Democrats and even the Republicans, all they got to do is go speak out about something, write a law about it, and it'll get passed, because the Christians have been brainwashed. Satan has deceived the Christians to not be into politics. Isn't that something? How can you deceive someone to not be in politics? You live here. This is your land. This is your land. In the Bible, it states that this is our land. In the Bible, it states that God is with a righteous nation. America has fallen like never before. I don't know if I can call America righteous. Our Constitution and Declaration was built off of biblical principles. The Declaration, it was not the Declaration of Independence, but I was just reading something about how the founders of our country, not all of them were Christians, but every law, everything they put into the system, everything through the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence was built upon biblical principles. Everything they got came from the Bible. So it's nonsense to say that Christians shouldn't be into politics. And I'm not even saying that Christians have to run for office or anything, because not always will we get, a true man of God. I mean, Barack Obama said that he was a Christian. And he lied. That man is not no Christian. So it's not like we're always going to get the truth. But at least speak up and stand up. Forget what your family members and your friends are going to say. Because this stuff that these kids are talking about is pure hatred and is pure evil. It's not going to make anybody better. This critical race theory, it won't make blacks better. It won't make the whites less than. It's just pure evil, folks. Nothing good comes out of this. So I would recommend speak up, folks. Please speak up. But make sure you overcome your anger before you speak up, because if you have anger, you are on the same side as the evil people. So I would recommend you overcome your anger by going and forgiving. But also, when you do speak up with anger, you're not gonna see the right way to go. You're gonna be blinded. And you're going to speak up in the wrong way. So we have to overcome our anger before we speak up, and then speak up so we can do it in the way of God, how God wants us to do it. Because and why I say don't speak up with anger, a perfect example of that is what happened on January 6th, the Capitol. A lot of those people had anger. A lot of those people were angry about what was taking place. It was wrong. We know the election was fraud. We know that, right? But they went into the Capitol, something that they should not have done. They went inside, something that they should not have done, but they were set up. They were set up to do that because they had anger and they couldn't see the right way to go. They couldn't see the right way to go about these things. So we got to start speaking up, folks. We got to start getting involved, because the kids are the future. The kids will be the future. And if we have these kids thinking about that, thinking like this, think about what's already happening to the blacks. The blacks have been lied to and brainwashed for so long, right? Imagine now this is the whole country, because they even got the whites believing into this critical race theory. The Mexicans, the Akbar people who are coming over. Folks, this is not going to be good. This is spiritual. We are fighting not only for the soul of America, we're fighting for individual souls, folks. This is evil. This is a warfare. And the quicker we realize that our battle is spiritual, it has nothing to do with color. It's either right or it's wrong, good or it's evil. The quicker we can realize that, we can win this war. It is spiritual, folks.